Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Dave Talks Movies. Today we'll be covering the top 10 significant points in the 2019 Oscar-winning film The Joker. With that being said, these are the top 10 important points of the movie that help build Arthur Fleck into the Joker. These are the points which help develop him into Gotham's psychotic clown prince of crime. With that being said, today we're going to be discussing major plots and character building points, so a spoiler alert is in effect. Please take a moment to hit that like, subscribe, and notify button below to see all of our videos as soon as they come out. Remember, these are just my opinions, and we want you to watch the movie for yourself. Our 10th spot goes to the scene where Arthur gets revenge on Randall. In this scene, we see Arthur sitting in his apartment painting on his traditional white clown makeup when there's a knock at his door. Arthur grabs a pair of scissors from a drawer and contemplates what he will do with them. When he answers the door, he sees two of his old co-workers standing there. After inviting them in, he locks the door behind them, and they ask him how he's been. Then they ask him why he's getting all painted up if he has a new job. Then they talk about how the police have been looking around their old job. Randall asked him what he told the police to make sure that they get their story straight. During this, Arthur loses control and stabs Randall twice, painting his wall red as he smashes Randall's head into the wall, breaking his skull. Now, this is important for two reasons. It starts to show the buildup of confidence that Arthur's getting as he's becoming the Joker, but then it also still shows that Arthur hasn't completely lost control yet, because he shows the compassion to his other co-worker by releasing him. Alright, our number 9 spot goes to the next scene. We see Arthur in full traditional Joker outfit. Not the traditional purple suit, but it still has the same Joker flair to it. We see him being chased by two of Gotham Police Department's best detectives. As they're chasing him, we see him jump on a train filled with people in clown masks heading to a protest. As he works his way through the train, Arthur steals one of the clown masks off of another rider and starts a fight between two of the train riders. As the cops continue to give chase, they enter that car and attempt to find him. As the people continue to fight, the cops get swept up in the action, and one of them accidentally discharges his firearm, shooting one of the protesters. This leads to the whole train attacking the two cops, putting them in critical condition. At the end of the scene, we see Joker exit the train, look at the cops getting attacked. As he pulls off the mask, he does a little dance before walking away. We then cut to him walking out of the station smoking a cigarette as other police are running in to try to break up the attack on the other two officers. Our number 8 spot goes to the next scene. We have Arthur and Bruce Wayne meeting on the grounds of Wayne Manor. Now, Arthur goes there with the hope to meet Thomas Wayne, who at this point in the movie, Arthur believes to be his father. As it unfolds, we see him walking along a brick wall with a red clown nose on, watching young Bruce in a treehouse. They continue to walk, watching each other, till they reach the gate. We then have Arthur on one side and Bruce on the other. We see Arthur start to do magic tricks with a fake wand, trying to make Bruce smile. Arthur then does a quick little dance before doing a trick which turns his wand into flowers, in which he hands through the gate to young Bruce. At this point, he puts his hands through the gate and forces Bruce to put a smile on his face by putting his fingers in his mouth, which we've seen him do to himself many times at this point in the movie. Then Alfred steps up, and they exchange words where Alfred acknowledges that he knows of Arthur and his mother Penny. Arthur grabs Alfred by the neck after he insults Arthur and tells him that his mother made the whole affair up. Arthur then looks at young Bruce, lets Alfred go, and runs away. Our number 7 spot comes up after Joker is arrested. As he's being transported in a police car, the car gets rammed by an ambulance driven by some protesters. The police are assumed dead as you see a couple of men lifting Arthur out of the car and placing him on the hood of the police vehicle. At this point, the rioters are all around him, and he starts to come to. As he starts to wake up, he stands up, and we see the crowd start to cheer. He stands on the hood and does a little dance, and at this point, he puts his hand to his mouth and finds blood. He then puts his ring and his index fingers on both hands into his mouth, pulls them out, drawing the iconic Joker smile on his face in blood. At the same time, we cut to another scene where a person in a clown mask is following Thomas and the Wayne family into Crime Alley, where Thomas and Martha get shot in front of Bruce. We cut away with Bruce on his knees between his dead parents. For our sixth spot, we head to the very end of the movie. We have Arthur in cuffs in a mental hospital talking to a doctor. This is also the same doctor that was his social worker at the beginning of the movie. As it continues, Arthur starts to laugh. When the doctor asks him what's so funny, we see him flash back to the idea of Bruce standing over his dead parents, and he looks at the doctor and says, "You wouldn't get it." We then cut to him walking down the hall by himself, leaving a trail of red footprints. We are to assume that it's the blood from the doctor. As he continues to walk back towards his room, the scene then time-lapse, and we see Arthur getting chased by some orderlies or security guards. Now here's where the real question of the whole movie comes in. Did it all happen, or was this just the illusion of a mentally ill man? Only you can make that decision. The movie is left up to interpretation by the viewer. Alright guys, the fifth scene is one of the major points that makes Arthur start to decline into madness. We have Arthur sitting in the hospital with his sick mother, getting ready to watch her favorite show, The Murray Show. As it starts, Murray introduces a clip of a local comedian who was recorded at the Pogo's Comedy Club. To Arthur's surprise, it was the set he did just the other night. As he watched, he started to laugh till he realized that he remembers the set a little differently. It cuts back to Murray, where he starts to make fun of and mock Arthur's comedy routine, which then changes his outlook of Murray from a father figure, which he had throughout the whole movie, to an enemy. Our fourth point comes from the graphic novel The Killing Joke. In the novel, the Joker says, "All it takes is one bad day to end up just like me." As we follow Arthur, we see him having this bad day. We see him lose his job because he took the handgun given to him by Randall into a children's hospital and it falls out during his routine. He calls in, he gets fired over the phone, and he takes the subway home. On the way home, we see him on the train observing three guys from Wayne Enterprises harassing a girl. As he watched, he starts to laugh, causing the men to turn their attention to him. As he sits there, one comes over and removes his clown hair, singing "Send in the Clowns." The guys then end up hitting Arthur to the ground. The other two join in and start beating him. Arthur then pulls out his gun and shoots two of them on the train. After the train stops, he gives chase to a third, killing him as well. At this point, he runs into a bathroom in the station, and not able to handle the emotional stress of what just happened, he breaks into a kind of a Tai Chi style dance to calm himself. Our third spot, we have the point which threw Arthur over the edge. We have Arthur visiting his mother after he discovers not only does she lie to him about Thomas Wayne being his father, but she also lied about being his mother. He discovers this after he steals her medical files. He also discovers in her file that he was abused by one of her boyfriends when he was a young child. At this point, Arthur starts discussing with his mother that he used to think that his life was a tragedy, but as he looks back at everything, he realizes that it's actually a comedy. At this point, he walks up to his mother, pulls a pillow out from underneath her head, and proceeds to smother her with the pillow until she dies. Now, the reason why this is important to the character development and the change in the Joker is that this is the scene where we see Arthur letting go of Arthur and accepting the fact that he's going to be the Joker now. In our number 2 spot, we now join Arthur completely in Joker mode. We see him dyeing his hair green, applying the classic Joker makeup, and wearing the classic Joker suit. Now, this was before the purple suit. We see him leaving his apartment, getting into the elevator, and as the doors close, we see him fully dressed up for the first time. We then cut to him dancing down a long set of stairs outside. Now, this is a truly liberating dance for him as he completely lets go of Arthur and feels the confidence and freedom that comes to him with being the Joker. Now, this is also important because at the beginning of the film, we see Arthur struggling to go up these stairs as a sign of his mental and physical exhaustion after combating his mental illness so long, and now we see him letting all of that go and finally feeling free. Alright guys, here we are, the number one spot why I feel Arthur turned into a Joker. In the top spot, we have the scene at the end of the movie where we see Joker going on as a special guest on the Murray Show. As he's getting ready, Murray checks in on him, and Arthur asks him, instead of introducing me as Arthur Fleck, please introduce me as the Joker. Now, he gets on stage with Murray, and he starts interviewing him, and it starts to go wrong. Now, this is the Oscar scene for the whole movie to me, because we get to see the total emotional and physical transformation of Arthur into the manic Prince of Crime that is the Joker. As the interview goes on, Joker goes further and further until he admits killing the 3 Wayne Enterprise members on the subway. At this point, Murray and his audience turn on him, and we see him getting more and more agitated. He accuses Murray of not being a good person because he bought him on the show to make fun of him. He then decides to tell one final joke. The joke was what happens when society turns its back on a mentally ill man. The punchline is, it gets what it deserves. He then pulls his gun out, shooting Murray in the head. At this point, he stands up and he shoots Murray a few more times. He then does a little dance before going to the camera and looking into it and saying, always remember, and then he gets cut off. Alright guys, there you have it. The top 10 points of the movie that took Arthur from a poor, mentally ill man, struggling comedian, and boy who loves his mother, to Gotham's clown prince of crime, the Joker. Now, of course, these are not in order, but I feel it best describes the descent into madness. We discussed what drove him to become the Joker and what the end result was. Now, do remember, these are the parts I felt were most important to the development of the character, and the final point was the point that I felt helped Joaquin win the Oscar for Joker. Just as a follow-up to one of our previous videos, due to the coronavirus, the new James Bond 007 movie, No Time to Die, has now been pushed back to a release date of November 25th, 2020. Also remember guys, as we always say, watch what you want to watch. Don't let anyone tell you what's good or not. Please remember to also hit that like, subscribe, and notification button on the bottom of your screen, and share this video with your friends on your social media platforms. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed last week and let you guys know at this time we still only have 8 subscribers, but we are growing, and our last episode got 23 views. Please visit our Facebook or Twitter pages, Dave Talks Movies. If there's a movie or a top 10 movie list that you want us to talk about, leave us a comment on either page or in the comments below, and we will get to it. Also, hit us up with your ideas and thoughts on the topic that we talked about today, the Joker movie. I will respond to all your comments on all the platforms. This is Dave, the movie guy, signing off.